With all the institutional failure that's really going on, how can we leave the audience with a hopeful message going forward? What do you think the movement that Bernie Sanders helped inspire, what can we all do together going forward?
The important thing is to never surrender. As Ralph Nader has said this very clearly, a much maligned, one of the greatest American political public citizens we've ever had, Ralph Nader. Going
I
back
agree.
to, we're talking about auto safety and everything. But here's, Ralph Nader said, don't ever give up your right to vote for an independent candidate, for a Jill Stein, or if you like, the libertarian candidate, you know. Don't ever let anybody tell you they own your vote, or you got to vote for the lesser evil. You got to vote for evil. What is the lesson there? First of all, there's nothing about the two-party system in the American Constitution, in our experiment. This whole idea would be so offensive to the people who wrote our Constitution, all of them. This whole idea, faction, party, it's the thing that they were most afraid of. You know, people gathering in these little things,
Yeah.
and all the money coming in and the corruption of the American process. And I tell people, don't let fear control you. You know, as Franklin Delano Roosevelt said, the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. And these people are fear mongers, whether they call themselves Democrats or Republicans. They want to get us afraid of every Muslim in the world. They want to get afraid of everybody in the world who might disagree with us. They want to get us afraid of every member of the other party and deny us choice. And they've got the money to package this message and brainwash everybody. It's incredibly dangerous. Optimism comes from only one source. At the end of the day, as we've been told, you can't fool everybody all the time. There have to be results. People know they're hurting. They know real income is not increasing.
Yes.
They know they're being left out. They know that 25 people have more money than the bottom, you know, what, 70% or something.
Right.
These statistics that Bernie Sanders was coming out have held up. They're accurate. You know,
Oxfam, they're out there.
Yeah, whether Paul Krugman of the New York Times wants to admit it, or other, you know, people that we once respected and thought would tell us the truth. No, they're rallying around Hillary and they're saying, oh, no, don't bring that up, don't bring that up. Yeah, bring it up. Yeah, bring it up. Those are lousy trade agreements. We should be against them. Those are wars that make no sense. We should be against them. Torture is an evil, evil thing. Yet we should be against it. I don't care what party is pushing any of this stuff. Drone attacks, you know, where you just kill people at a wedding because you think you have the right to. Forget about trial. Forget about due process. You're God now. You just fire from the heavens, you know, and kill anybody who's gathering because one of their cousins might have known somebody else who might have been somebody you said was on some terrorism. And then the fact, I want to lay it on one solid point here. The fact is, none of the surveillance, I wrote a book called They Know Everything About You, The Surveillance State, what Snowden warned about. Not one single example has been that they've been able to come up with where spying on all of us, gathering this haystack of information, has made us safer. Every single time, whether it was the Boston bombing or the most recent attacks in New York City,
New Jersey.
New Jersey and New York, every one of them, they knew these people.
Yeah.
They were on their watch list. They had a history. They'd gone to Afghanistan. They'd gotten training. They were in Chechnya or someplace. They knew all this stuff. So here's this guy, his father, who's frying chicken down there in New Jersey, tells the government, tells the FBI, my son has really quite dangerous ideas, and they ignore it. They're spying on every one of us all the time, including Angela Merkel, the head of Germany, but somehow they can't follow this one guy, right, whose father tells the FBI, hey, this guy's, you know, getting a little whacked out. He's been to Afghanistan, and this is somebody you should worry about. So, you know, the fact of the matter is they don't make us safer. They scare us into surrendering our freedoms. They scare us into accepting incompetency on their part and torture and a violation of everything that this country is supposed to believe in. And it's garbage to think that we need them in any way to protect them. We need to challenge them. It's our right to challenge them and not be frightened because they find somebody who would be even worse to come along. They're always going to find somebody who's going to be even worse. But if that's the choice, you're finished.
We'll leave it on that. And you know, Bernie Sanders would end his speeches during his campaign tour with saying things like, when we're together, there's nothing we can't do. I think that would be a good way to leave it.
No, when we're together and Lawrence Ferlinghetti once said, keep an open mind, but not so open that your brains fall out.
I like that.
Okay?
That's really
so being
good.
together like sheep, that doesn't cut it.
Yeah.
Being together by people who are questioning and thinking critically and raising questions and not afraid, that's something else. That's called democracy.
We'll leave it on that. Professor Scheer, thank you very much for being on the NOWMAN Show. This is Nice Wonder, and you've been watching the NOWMAN Show.